They refused. I'm not saying that not doing that was what led to some of those kidnapping or what led to the kidnapping of the families and the rest. But if we had had this opportunity to launch Members Republic, that alone puts here before the criminal that look, these people are
some sort of a step.
Yes. But it was when it happened in January, I have to run to Mr. President, look, we can continue. As Mr. President gave us emergency procurement approval immediately that we must get this equipment, and which we have done. Then the only snag we now have, again, I have said, in terms of security, we don't need to bring bureaucracy. We have now applied to the Office of National Security Advisor to allow us to have end-user certificates of most of those equipment. When I appeared before the Senate yesterday, they closed those sections, and I briefed them. They were all happy with what we have done and what steps we are taking. But then again, we're able to let them know, look at the problem that we're facing. And I came back. Then I saw the letter from the Office of the National Security Advisor. So I was thinking that approval has been given. Until when I read it, it now said, look, we should let those who will use it, take for example, the police, the SSS, be the ones they will not apply for the end-user certificate. But we have spent how many weeks, months now, that will now go back for them to now write it. This is what I'm talking about, bureaucracy.
Okay. After that meeting
Yes.
with the Senate,
Yes.
you said, because that was part of what we had read sometime in January,
Yes.
and you said some of these security incidents we see are staged or politicized.
No, I said...
What did you mean by that?
No, I said some of these kidnapping are sometimes state managed. Sometimes, take for example, this is my family, right? Right? I have a driver, right? I have a cook. My driver takes my children to school, right? Unknown to me, my driver is the one behind the kidnap of my children. What do you want anybody to know, to do at that point? How will any security person use to say, oh, you are not vigilant? If not, how would that kidnapping take place? Is the driver that takes the children to school has connived with these criminals? Look, by social time, we are going to school. By social time, we are coming back. Now, instead of him to take the normal route, where it may be difficult, he takes the route where they are agreed. And then you hear the children have been kidnapped and the driver escaped. Of course, the blame will be on the security agencies. Now, how do you find that? Until when the police or security agencies go into action and then finds out that it was the driver that masterminded the kidnap.
Is there a similar case with all of these cases that you had?
I was a governor. I'm telling you, for example, what we know.
Well, how about in FCT now? Any case that looks like this one recently?
I don't need to reveal certain things. All I've told you that, yes, we agree. The point I want to let you know, we agree that kidnappings take place. But the most kidnappings, too, are inside house kidnapping. You cannot run away from it. And two, you may not agree, but some people have this habit that, look, let's make it uncomfortable for the government. I can tell you that. Let's make it uncomfortable. Let the government have problems. Let us see that. Even when something happens, but not to the extent that it happened, their business is to blow it above what has really happened. I'm not saying that is an excuse. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that with my experience, with what I know, sometimes something happened after Buhari. You know, we have boundaries Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, and Kogi. Now after Buhari, there's a community. It's in Kaduna, right? When that kidnapping happened, they said in FCT. But it is not FCT. It is in Kaduna. But but that is a community close to Buhari, which is an area council in FCT. So the point was saying that, but some people will say, look, it has happened in Buhari. And where is Buhari? Buhari is in the FCT.
Honorable Minister, you mentioned the case about, the hideouts that you got in Toto, for instance. That's next to Abaji. Nasarawa. But that's, you run through Abaji to get to that place.
Yes.
In our last discussion, you were talking about collaboration with these states in terms of, monitoring these borders and especially the forests that provide cover for these outlaws.
Yes.
How far with that, initiative?
Now, you see again, when we talk about monitoring, with all due respect, I'm not trying to indict anybody. These are problems that have been there before, probably the sort of governors that are there now, and the present government at federal level that is there. The terrain is so bad, no good roads. So how do you move to? You talk about forests. You require equipment, particularly drones. And you know how expensive to buy drones. How many states can authoritatively say today we have the capacity to buy drones? In fact, that was one of the approvals that Mr. President gave to us, that we said, look, we are going to purchase our own drone to help in surveillance and in operation, particularly within these areas, boundary, that the topography is so bad, is so hilly, and where you have the forest. And we have made sure that it is provided in the 2024 statutory budget. I briefed this to the National Assembly yesterday, and they were highly elated. And again, let me tell you what I've discovered in terms of operation. My experience as a governor tells you this. In FCT, there's nothing like called security vote. Yes, nothing like that.
What do they call it?
Yes, that does not like that. You see, I have never seen this, where security agents want to have a covert operation. They have to put it in writing. I have to minute it to the permanent secretary. He had to minute it to DFA.
It's no longer covered.
And bureaucracy for an operation that has to go on this night.
Are probably covered as well.
Of course, why do you have how do you know the man who is going to do the approval is not the one who will leak the information?
So are you changing that?
What National Assembly said, they were going to do that. That's not possible. And
so nothing like that is on ground?
Nothing like that as far as FCT is concerned. No, nothing like that. In fact, it is here I found out that you pay through bank, security, I've never seen that way. You pay through the banks. So you have to access security through banks. How do you pay your informants? Tell me.
Without revealing the identity.
Without revealing their identity, how do you pay your informants? And I wondered. I said, no wonder.
Honorable Minister.
How will you think you will succeed? Yes, people may have, like some people may say, may have abused the issue of security vote, but that does not mean that it shouldn't be there, because it has its own effect. Because as a governor, my director officer comes by 1 a.m. Sir, we have an operation we must carry out this night. We require 10,000 naira, for example. I need to go and call who? The DFA, the pump said, please can you make a bit more? Who does that in security? Nobody does that. But that's what is obtainable here. You can imagine the police asking that that these criminals use some special motorbikes for you to get to the mountains. They also need such special bikes, if not more powerful than theirs. Not available. We have just tried to procure about 100 now to aid them. But these things were not there. And what do you want them to do? They're a handicap. I went to the CP command. In fact, I got there, I looked up, I looked down. I just shook my head. I said, we're not serious about this. As FCT, we have no FCT Special Intervention Squad that can immediately, in the command room, I've got information that this is what is going on so place. With all the technology gathered there, nothing. As governor, the former IG commissioned the intelligence center, which has all communication gadgets. Before anything happens, they are aware, and they have sent signals all over.
They are state-owned in the river.
Yes, I built 2 commissioned by the same former IG. And how can a city like FCT? You don't have it. All you have is a regular state police command.
So some of what you've spoken about, bureaucracy, some of these challenges, these are some of the things that some people have also identified at different points, meaning, look, something needs to be done differently. Right now, there's this conversation as to multi-level policing. What's your impression about that? Is that something you think we should adopt to get results?
Multi-level in terms of going to state police? There are so many issues that have gone. Now, when you say do something differently, what does it stop you? Like what we are doing now, that we're going to build a center that is FCT Special Squad, Special Intervention Squad, that will have support of the soldiers, I mean the military, the police, the SSS. It's like a joint
command center
that has everything they have or they will need. Not anything that happens is just also police a command. So this becomes a special intervention squad that will not give any opportunity for some of these miscreants to operate.
Perhaps
and so when you are talking about, so if what you are saying that we have this problem because if we have allowed state police, if we have allowed community police, or what we call council police, look at the advantages and the disadvantages. And let people tell themselves the simple truth. I would prefer state police. No problem about that. How many states can pay police salaries? How many states have money to buy equipment, ammunition for states? We're talking about, it's not because Rivers can. It's not because Lagos can. It's not because Delta can. How many states in Nigeria today
are paying teachers?
I don't want to go into that.
What about
what
if states can afford it? Then let them go ahead.
No, but you cannot say one state should have police state, and then in the federal system.
Yeah, but it's a democracy. So
no,
everybody can grow at the same pace. They can grow at different pace.
Well, you see, our own federal system is quite different. You see, in America, you see, a state can say, look, I have no economic capability. I would therefore join this state for us to be one. It happens. But it's not here. Ethnicity will come in. Religion will come in.
Domination.
All those kind of things. Now, so when people talk about state police, that's nothing. We're just looking at it theoretically.
But Honorable Minister, if we take it from what
Yes.
Chamberlain was saying,
Yes.
you spoke about some of the communication you had, your interaction with at the centers,
Yes.
and they were talking about maybe the ability to at least push back a little when these offensives come from the outlaws. Was that in the conversation? For instance, the youths in those areas, for
Yes,
instance.
like what you told-
some of those
I said,
communities ask for
we
more
even
presence, actually.
we even did what you call. We told all the area council, listen, you are going to employ local vigilante, and again you have to be careful. This local vigilante must be profiled. Who are they? So we don't create problem for ourselves. Okay? You want to eliminate criminals, you're also creating
Equipping the outlaws.
criminals. So who are they? They should be profiled by the police or other security agencies. 2, will you allow them to carry ammunition? I mean, weapons. What kind of weapons? So you don't end up arming people that you cannot take control of tomorrow. Or they will just merely be for intelligence purpose, which I would prefer for intelligence gathering. And I can tell you, that has helped. And the police have told me that most of the intelligence they gather in apprehending these criminals mostly come from their local sources. And they try as much as they can not to let people know. Now, and that's why the danger, if you say pay money to their account. Mind you, as the money comes to their account, somebody goes, who is this guy? 10 million naira came today. 5 million naira came the other day. What's working? You are now exposing.
You want to give them cash?
I don't know what you call cash. All over the world. If you know what security is all about. All over the world. So you don't know that NIA, if they want to, most of the operations. I don't buy cash. It's not something you go and collect money from the bank. Who does that? Who told you that this is CIA? They don't carry cash to do their operation. Who told you that? It's all over the world.
Okay.
It's just that we in Nigeria have this mentality. When once you hear cash, it means that, this is a corruption. In most intelligence gathering all over the world, they spend money.
Leave no trace.
You won't know. If CIA want to operate here, you don't know how much they have spent to make sure they are looking for a Chamberlain. And they will go all out to make sure that they get it. It's information. You don't know what they do. So it is not peculiar. All I'm saying that most operations carried out or being carried by the intelligence, by the security agencies, is not supposed to be known by people. It's only probably the head. Sometimes, even me as the head, they may not tell me. Sometimes, except it's very, very necessary.
That's why.
With the level of decadence you've seen in the FCT Police Command now, what are your plans?
No. Don't limit it to police now. Say, I didn't say the level. No. I will refuse to accept the level of decadence in police command. I will refuse to accept that.
Okay.
If you say
You said you don't have common tracking device.
that does not mean it's according to the level of the decadence you are talking about. All I'm saying, even the state services don't even have it. Ordinarily, why should it be so? It is not because of this administration. This administration came when? It has never been there. That's the point I'm making. And the problem we also have is that these problems have been there for years. And now everybody expects you that the problem that has been there for over 20 years, then within 7 months, it has disappeared. You must give the government some kind of kudos. That yes, we know it is not easy, but are there steps being taken, like what we are doing in FC today, that you have even attempted to the fact that yes, we can say that's relative calmness in FCD. We cannot say
request for more security presence in those far-flung area councils, Abaji, Buhari.
Okay. I see what we have done. Take for example, when we went to Gwagwalada, We were told that, look, they need some more police stations presence at certain areas, and which we have a promise to provide. I've told the CP, we need a design, as usual. It is there in the 2024 budget. We included it, about 4 police stations, 2 in Wagwada, 1 in either Kwale or Abaji. I think there are 4, but I will not be able to really do. And then some other military presence. And to help them make sure these roads that they have identified as critical areas that these criminals always come to, we must have to act, which we have promised that go home, it must be done. And we have started doing it. You see, this is the first time a government is even talking about rural areas. Long. The people don't see the impact of governance. They don't even care. So that's why they are surprised. We went to, there's a place, Jiwa, and they call the road Sabiru or Sabiru. Sabiru, but you know, it is a hell. It is hell. When they are, and I told them we were going to do it, and we came, and the road is going on very well. You can see the happiness in the faces of the people. There's no magic in this. Just, you see, when there is this confidence, you know, what has happened between the people and government is that government tells them something, government will not fulfill it. So, we don't care. But there's still a government now, said, look, we are going to do this. And then in the next 2 days, the government has come to do it. That creates some confidence. And people are believing that, yes, we are part of the government now. We can now tell government this is what is going on, and government will intervene. So most of the security issues are not just, you know, you cannot, you know, solve some of these problems without involving the local communities.
Honorable Minister, finally, to put a cap, because we're talking about security all this while, but to put a cap, apart from the issue of, you know, the pushback in terms of, you know, the equipment gap, getting equipments and all that, another aspect could be, perhaps, since we know those who are involved in these are, you know, youths and all that, while this infrastructure development that you have been doing are going on, is there perhaps, you know, an avenue that could lead to more job creation, mass recruitment that would deter youths from thinking about the quick wins of, you know, kidnap?
First of all, when there's massive infrastructure going on, that also tells you employment is going on. Employment must not be only white-collar jobs, where you must work in the ministry. There's no way you can employ everybody in the ministry for that to be, for you to say, oh, we don't have unemployment. What is important, take for example, in encouraging youths to be able to own something they can be doing while government supports them. Take for example, if in Abuja today, and we're talking about agriculture is key, right? What stops government in encouraging some of those youths to own some of the farms and give them something to make sure those farms grow? It doesn't need to be, see, the problem we have is that we think about billions and billions and billions. That's the only way. If a government can say, look, this young man or this group of people, after all, we have shortage of fish. The demand is so high, right? Can we see how we can set up some farms where some of these youths can own up the farms? How much does it take? That's a job, a creation. That's a job, a creation. Yes. And we're working at that. We have the mentality, our youth also have this mentality, that except you make billions first. Nobody wants to start with, oh, I made 100,000 naira profit. No. Millions of naira start as profit, which is not a good idea. So many people are billionaires today, they started from somewhere and go to somewhere. You see a youth today, he wants to start, you employ him for a job, his salary should start with 200,000. He looks at it. What am I going to do with 200,000? That is a bad orientation. And the present government in various areas have mapped out strategies on how our youth would engage themselves and gain and be on their own to be able to feed their...
If you could just ask that, Honorable Minister, you talked about the launch of the mass transit,
Yes.
CNG buses the last time.
Yes, yes.
What's going on with that?
Yeah, that is correct. Luckily, like I said, if not the problem we had with the Bureau of Public Procurement, we would have lost that in December, thinking that they would have given us the emergency procurement to go ahead. I told you it was this January when I brought it to attention of Mr. President, when he invited the service chiefs and all of us to a meeting, and I raised that, look, this is the problem we're having. Immediately, he approved, and the buses have been procured, and we're doing all the details. And I told the Senate yesterday, by the time we roll out these boxes and taxis, certain areas like Maitama, Asokoro will not allow keke napep or ordinary bike. Well, I mean, we must tell ourselves the simple truth. This is the capital of a country. This is a city where you have foreigners, ambassadors. I don't understand how we can allow at this stage keke napep to take over the entire area of such areas. Security risk. Where I live, keke napep, this and that and that. So one day I was coming back. They have taken over the entire road. I came back in the night. I said, what is this? And I said, well, you have no alternative. Therefore, you can't chase them out. Now we have alternative. Now we roll it the taxis and the buses out. Then we can also leave.
So would they be part of those who can apply to get those taxis, or what's this? How is this scheme going to play?
Yes. What you see, in this case, the drivers will be employed by us, will be profiled by the police. In fact, not only that, we will not even allow now every route, you see, taxi on the road. We are going to make sure there are routes. You cannot apply, or you cannot apply in so-so route. You are given approval for so-so route. And we know those who apply in those routes.
What he's saying is that in Lagos now,
Yes.
the downfall drivers, the motorway drivers, they were integrated into the BRT scheme.
That's what I'm saying. I said, this keke, if they want to, we will employ them.
Okay.
That's the point we're trying to make. Even those who run private
Uber.
Taxes.
Government has to know who are these workers. I mean, the mere fact you run Uber does not mean that the security agent should not know who is. So we'll be able to hold you responsible.
How do we ensure that this project does not go the way of previous ones in the past? We saw, I think it was under Malam El-Rufai,
yeah.
We saw green taxis in Abuja. They were all run aground. At another point, we saw buses.
caps.
We saw buses, those red and white buses. There's a place now along Kubwa Road where you see all of them parked. All of them in one bad shape or the other. How are you going to ensure that this does not go the way of those?
Again, we must also, leadership is important. Leadership is important. It's not going to be run as government. You know, one thing I found out in our society, everybody says government property
Belongs to
nobody. It's run as if it's a business enterprise, but not for the sole purpose of making profit, so to speak, but be able to operate very well and sustain itself. Our own concern is the area of fighting insecurity. That's our major concern, not necessarily to make money. We must keep the people to have something to feed themselves, while at the same time we are monitoring the issue of security.
So do we have a date when this scheme will kick off?
You know, let me use this adage. You know, turtle. This turtle has been there in the pit latrine for
3 months.
over years. And he never died. Just the day they said they're going to bring the turtle, I said, look, if you don't bring me out now, I'm going to die. You have been there for years.
So he started complaining of the smell of the place.
So it is just now that you already have hope. We've already gotten to this point. We have already procured the buses and this thing. Only to put in more detailed things into terms of security. And now you are now in your tell us, will it be tomorrow? I mean, you have 90% assurance now that it's available. It's available. That I can tell you the truth. And the CNG buses you have talked about, just yesterday I was working on the file of people who are interested to bring in the CNG buses, and we have also said, look, we too will not wait for only private investors. The government will also too be part of procuring before we have, you know, some of this when you wait for private investors, the time you would want it, they delay you. So we have been able also to put in our budget that will require also number of the CNG buses. So, but whoever that also intends to partner with government is...
what about if one doesn't want to partner, wants to do it as his own business
it's part
within
of,
the FCT?
No,
with private investors?
No, you still need to come to government. We're talking about security now. We're talking about security. Is that, like we said, we're building terminals now. And it's not amazing, it's not surprising to you, a city like Abuja don't have terminals. Where you can say, look, go to this terminal if you are going to social area, Go to this terminal if you are going to social area. Nothing like that. Everybody just on the road. You don't even know who is picking you. It's unfortunate. And we are building 3 years ago in certain areas. And you can't believe it. We want to do public procurement. These are things we require to be built immediately. We can't continue to wait. They rejected. I told the Senate yesterday, part of our problem is our procurement law. There is indeed to amend the procurement law to give room for certain things like this. How do you expect, we're talking about fighting of insecurity, and you want to go the long haul of procurement process. You must make a waiver. For issues of security, you must make a waiver. Because I require to give, say, SSL, for example, 10 vehicles now because they need it. I require to give police 20 now because they need it. And I said, look, DPP, can you give us waiver for us to have a direct purchase of this, because the police needs it now. The security agencies, they need it now. No, you can advertise.
No certificate of...
Advertise take you 6 weeks. The bidding process, the rest of it, before certificate of no objection will come. These are things that hinder the progress or the fight against insecurity. I'm not saying that you should do whatever in every day. I'm not saying that, which is not allowed. But procurement of security matters should be waived, should be given emergency. That's the point I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to. And if that happens, it will go a long way in reducing crime. It is not. It's, look, give kudos to the police. Give kudos to security agencies. Despite the fact that they lack most of this equipment, yet they have recorded a lot of successes. People just, the only thing you hear, somebody was kidnapped today. Our security agencies are doing nothing. If we tell you the successes they record every day, you will marvel. The successes they record every day. There's no night where they don't go to where they say criminal spots, where they arrest these boys with the Indian ham and the rest of it. Look at it. We have identified all over the flyovers, under the flyovers, criminals. You know, some of them stay there, sleep there, then they move out to operate. We have identified. So what did we do? It's okay. We are going to fence it all.
Fence?
All the roundabouts under the flyovers will not allow it again.
How about improving on the lighting system within the FCC?
It's part of what we're saying, because that also helps to fight crime. You look at the solar power we use. As you mount one today, come tomorrow morning, it's been vandalized or stolen. Now you ask yourself, yes, you say, oh, what is police doing? Well, police be manning every pole. Every pole. Look at the manhole.
The covers.
The manhole on the road. You arrest them. You charge them to court. What is the sanction? 3,000, 5,000. So I told the National Assembly, you must amend the law too, to make it strong, to be deterrent, like in the States. We made sure kidnapping is dealt a penalty, and if you're a kidnapper, you are caught. Everything you have, all the buildings you have, will all go down. The government will confiscate.
If I could just add this bit, pardon me, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, is the FCT thinking about, because now the heat is crazy, and I know that AEDC, by law, they have that franchise. Is the FCT thinking about probably owning their own facility?
It's the issue of power. It's capital intensive. The problem with government is want to carry everything at the same time. Yes, power is necessary to help investment and the rest of it, but you are limited by funds. What you do, what are the major things now, and which you have a little resources for you to implement? Not that going into power would not be a good thing, but mind you, it's capital intensive.
If we stay
and we're not like oil producing states where you have your 13% derivation. What we have here is just fighting to get internal generated revenue. Nothing. Even you, most of you, when you hear that you want to collect revenue, you are not even happy.
We're paying ground rents now. People are paying now.
You are not. How many people? In fact, you know, it's very, very unfortunate. People just want government to do everything, but nobody asks, where will government get this money from? Government, FCT cannot go and print money. The only thing it can survive on is on revenue. And when people say revenue, who are these people paying the revenue? Is it the poor people? How many poor people live in Matamaya? How many people own billions of houses in Asokoro, Garaki? The poor people are living where nobody is taxing them. But the big men, people like you, who don't like to pay.
No, we do.
You have excuses upon excuses upon excuses.
We clearly do pay.
Look at the publication. We chase you up all about. Look at the publications we made that were given extra 2 weeks, over 10,000 people houses. These houses are not in the rural areas. These houses are within the city, owned by big men. You live in a house of 2.something billion. We cannot pay a tax for a year of 200,000 naira. What kind of system is that? What kind of system is that? And you want me to provide road? You want me to provide street light? You want me to do sanitation? Yet you cannot pay a mansion you are living in 2.something billion, or even when you sell it now, you can sell it to 3 billion, you put it in your pocket, then pay the ordinary ground rent. The government has given you a CFO of 200,000, not monthly, yearly. Government will continue to chase you. We begin to publish your name every day. And then you go and complain that the minister is embarrassing you.
Let me take you away from something that is making you angry. Let's get to something that will make you happy.
Yes.
The last time we were here with you,
Yep.
you told us that the road revolution going on within the municipal area is not going to be limited to the AMA, but that you were taking it to the area councils, all the area councils.
Yep.
Subsequently, we've seen you flag off one road project or the other in those area councils. We understand that you are even making more promises. Bring us up to speed about what is happening.
I don't know why you think that that's what is going to make me happy. It shouldn't make me happy because if this is what ought to have been before now.
But people not paying rent is making you angry.
Would have been focusing. Would have been focusing on other things. Or if people were living up to expectation in terms of their rents or their taxes, would have also expanded more than what we have today. Now the contract that was awarded to Arab contractors from the airport junction to Kuje is about 15 kilometers, 6 lane to Arab contractors. That contract was awarded sometimes 6 years ago. Abandoned. So I was going to Kuje to flag off one of these rural roads. So I was asking, what is this? They said, well, this contract has been awarded. So luckily when I go to the area, one of the demands or requests they made was that if I can see how the contractors can come back to see whether they can do this road. You don't need to leave Kuja and live here. If that road is done, it takes you 30-35 minutes to Kuje. So why do I need to live here? And I promised the chiefs, the emirs, I said, look, it is not you begging. It's the responsibility of government. We have to make it easier for us too. In the city, we can't continue. Everybody's moving down to the city, and that's why we're having much problems. If we provide the basic amenities, even in the area councils, that will discourage people from living.
Part of that is the light rail. You said it's almost done.
Yes, I'm coming. So what I'm trying to say, today, I feel glad, I feel happy. Sometimes too, some of you should take it on your own, without prompting us, without telling us, go and see, go to Kujena, go and see what's happening. Every day I get calls, is this possible that this road is going on as expected? I went there, you know what the managing director of the company, Arab Contractors, he said, Mr. Minister, we're happy. We're expecting money, but we are doing the job because we know you will pay. Confidence. Because they know I will pay. And the next 2 days, he called me, thank you, Mr. Minister, we have received our money. And I said, not only that, you are receiving another one today, tomorrow. You see, it is the renewed hope agenda, Mr. President. Everybody has lost hope. Now you're bringing back hope. No, don't lose hope. We have the capacity to do this thing that you felt that nobody. That is the agenda of Mr. President. So now you talked about the light rail.
Yes.
You know, it's one area I have been praying to God. God, you've done everything for me in life. this one, I need it. If you do this, and I leave this word, I will be satisfied. Because Mr. President has specifically, in the last NBA General Conference, said, I don't need their land. I need to ride on that metro line. You know what that means? Before over 5,000 lawyers. And the way the contract was so structured is something that if you don't have the heart, you run away. You run away. Because you don't know whether you will achieve it or not. But because we are determined, I said, it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes, we must. So, it's not just the race, the operation. There was an agreement approved by Federal Executive Council for the CCECC to train the operators for 2.5 years at the sum of $128 million. For the operation to train 128 million euros approved by Federal Executive Council. So, we came. We said, oh, most of the equipment have been vandalized. So they awarded another contract for the repairs and this and that and that. Almost about $60 million US. The headache was too much. I ran to President, look, they said, go and do their work. So, but I can tell you authoritatively, God willing, the way things are now, it's likely that we'll succeed by May.
How about your
Can
feeder
you
roads?
quickly
Now,
conclude
feeder
on
roads.
the
Yeah,
on
now,
the
all
area
the
of
feeder
area
roads
council
yes,
roads?
are all going to be completed in the next 1 month. The 6 feeder roads, from communities to all the train stations, as I speak to you, are all 75, 80%.
That's key.
As I speak, because that is key. Without those feeder roads, you are doing nothing. Because they will not have access to the stations.
Yeah.
So that we have done that. But we still have a problem with the operation. So the company can see is it came. The board agreement approved by the Federal Executive Council. I'm not talking about it was headache. $128 million, convert it into Naira. Those who are good in mathematics. Convert it. So I called them, I said to them, I said, hey, are you sabotaging this project or what? How do you tell Nigerians that we are going to pay $128 million to train our people? What kind of training is that? I will not accept.
All right, Honorable Minister, we
But
need to go on the quick break.
the point I'm trying to make, as of today, in fact, I'm trying to make a note to the Federal Council. We have come from $128 million now to $75 million. Even at that, I'm still not comfortable. Because when you convert it with the current trade now, it's about 100 something a billion naira.
But bottom line is that
We have been able to
the
achieve
completion
to that level. And we are going to, by the grace of God, ride on that.
on May 29th. All right.
May.
All right. Let's hang in on that. That will be a convenient point to go on a quick break for just about 2 minutes. We'll be right back after 2 minutes. Chief Justice Wike. Honorable Minister, we're still here with you. Let's move to. You said we should still have something to ask on infrastructure.
Want him to anchor on the metro line?
No, we will do that. Okay. You linked, Honorable Minister, you linked the issues of housing, monitoring those who own these houses in terms of, even ensuring security. You were talking about the fact that, there are so many abandoned houses that could even be haven to some of these criminals. Have you gone far in that in terms of, getting those, the CFOs and the registrations to even, tie houses to names?
Well, you see that in this country, people believe that things must be done the way it should be business as usual. When you bring some new ideas, they try to kick against it. But leadership is key. If you are firm, there's nothing anybody can do. We have said that, look, part of what security agents have identified that some of these uncompleted houses, that these miscreants and criminals have taken over those houses. And therefore, for security reasons, you'd better go and let them know to go and finish, complete these houses, or government have no choice but to revoke the title and take it over. We have been able to give them time and upon time and upon time. Some have, gone back to see that they put the buildings in use. Some have refused, and we have not hesitated to revoking them. Not only that, we have started demolishing them. We have not only revoking, we have also started demolishing them.
Is that the best option?
The uncompleted buildings.
What is the option?
What if they make it safe and don't allow criminals happen there? Because these
that's what
are people's hard-earned
No,
resources.
what we are saying, if you go back to complete the house for people to live, we have no problem. But those who have refused to comply, we have no choice.
What if it's because they don't have the funds?
Then we should allow criminals to take over because you don't have the funds.
No, if they prevent criminals from using it
How
as
do
a
they?
safe haven.
How do they?
They can put security details there.
Well, we will not allow that. Take, for example, some people have plots of land. They allow people to go and build shanties. And in particular, in the cities. Take, for example, we have in the diplomatic area where you have a Russian embassy, European Union. There are lands that have been given out to people, some embassies to build. For one reason or the other, we don't know. I went there. Look at shanties I've taken over. And I said, look, who are those embassies that want to build immediately? Qatar came up. So look, they need a place like this for them to build immediately. I revoked it and gave to Qatar, and they're building. United Arab Emirates came. We need to build our residential and this. Where they gave us, there's no infrastructure. I called the director of lands. Since they are ready to build, give them there. And they have submitted their drawings for approval. I have never seen in cities where, not green areas, where you are living for vegetation or whatever, but where you are supposed to build, land has been given, and you allow miscreants to take over the place by building all kinds of partial houses and this. Nobody does that. And I'm not ready. It doesn't matter who is involved. It doesn't matter who is involved. And the problem we have is that we have a way to give names to people when they take firm decisions. When they take decisions that you think are hard. For me, I'm used to that. I'm not going to look back. This one that the tenure expired, that we have advertised. By the end of this week, next week, we are probably that we are revoked. Yes. Or you will say, you have a way to give public officers one name or the other. We are not bothered about that. We don't I don't have sleepless night over it. As far as my conscience, I know I'm doing what is right and for the security of people. I saw a cobbler who pretended to be a cobbler as we are driving to my house under the tree. I called my ADC. Huh? When do you start having a cobbler? No. No cobbler should be here. It's like informants who tell you he has come in, he has gone out. And then when we drive him out, you come. Why is he not allowing the man to survive? The man is looking for how you feel. Who told you that? Who told you it is that place that he will survive? What about security? What about security? And you must be firm.
Yeah. Well, we'll hear you on that one, but talk to us about what's the plan for mass housing for people? Because you say sometimes, look, some of these so-called mass housing are not affordable for the masses. So what's FCT's plan on that?
Well, when people talk about mass housing, what I said before was somebody comes, government should provide infrastructure worth over 80-something billion. The land was bought by government. Infrastructure provided by government. Then somebody comes that he wants to build a house to sell to people at a low cost. I don't know what is low cost. No. You want to use government to make money. I have the land. I have provided the infrastructure. We have to sit down. It's partnership. Government is not interested in making money. But not that government doesn't want money to also provide other infrastructure. But the sole aim is not to make money. But we need money to also carry out other things. So we have to sit down with you and say, look, this houses cannot be sold at this cost. We allow you to sell it at this cost. If that is not allowed, forget it. Again, some people come to government and say, look, we want to develop, we need 200 hectares to develop houses for people. That's okay. I have no problem. Let me see capacity. Where's the money? Oh, I have a bank that no, I have no problem. Let the bank, call the bank. Let them show me the agreement you do to how much you're going to give them. All fake. All they do, collect government land. Years come, they begin to sell the land and make money. I have a lot of letters here. I need 200 hectares of land. I have partners who are coming from Europe to provide. I said, I've seen these partners a lot. Show me what is on ground. Sign an agreement with us that if you don't build within 1 year, we'll take back our land. That is all you see. We are willing. When we see the one that is sincere and is genuine is saying that you put the card on it. Look, this is the bank funding us. We'll see the letter from the bank. We are going to release to them such amount of money. The bank takes guarantee. And you sign with government. Government says, yes, we are going to give you this. But within 1 year, 2 years, if this is not done, government, the land goes back to the government. I have seen, and I can't believe it, when I came on board, how dubious people are. I said this without, doesn't matter who's involved. It's a staff. Immediately the former minister left, the staff signed on behalf of a minister, giving out over 500 hectares of land to somebody. We have been meeting here, and our legal team said, nobody can sign on behalf of minister. You can't. You have no such authority. In fact, the present government came in May 29. We were appointed in August. From May 29 that the present government came to July, go and see contracts awarded. Go and see contracts awarded. I just discovered of recent, unknown, what the former permanent secretary here did. Between the government came in May and I came in August, they've employed over 2,000 persons.
In 3 months.
Yes. I'm backdated.
So what's going to happen?
Over 2,000.
So what's going
Will
to
they all be
happen?
flushed out?
Now look at it. You look at it in 2 ways. You know that's not fair. That's illegal. So, what do? Should I say they should be sacked? Labor crisis will come in. But is that right? Is that right? The kind of do you believe it that FCT alone has staff strength of not less than 38,000? Can you believe that? Of not less than 38,000 staff. With 270-something directors. Of course, they were promoting themselves, saying they won't be permanent secretaries. They retire without being permanent secretary. So it was like, look, well, since none of us can be permanent secretary, let's be promoting ourselves here. Director.
But that has been addressed now.
The point I'm trying to say. No, the point I'm trying to say, because there's no future for them.
Okay. They try to create a...
So they have to say, we shouldn't die like this. Let it be that, they created so many departments so that a director will head a department, no matter how small the department is, no matter how small. Luckily, Mr. President said, look, there's nothing like career progression in life. That's not giving somebody hope in life. Luckily, the law is there. 2018 Act is there. And President said, look, the law is there. What's the difficulty? In creating their own civil service, in making them to go to director to be permanent secretaries. And like I said in Nigeria, there's always a power tussle. Not for the institution, not for the system to grow. It's for the I am in charge. As head of service of the Federation, I will send a permanent secretary to FCT. Who employs? It is not the Federal Civil Service Commission that employs staff of FCT. FCT employs their own people, promote their own people, but cannot get to the level of permanent secretary. So so you are not superintending over any staff here. All you are interested is to send a permanent secretary who will not be briefing you when you have no control over the staff. And Mr. President is with them. I have come here to give people hope. I didn't come to kill their hope. I said you need hope. If the law says this, why not implement it? I'm here to implement the law. And I said, Mr. Minister, go and implement. If not for somebody like Mr. President, no way. So many people fought the implementation of this 2018 Act. And you ask, what are you losing? That the law says they should have their own civil service commission. That will promote them. That will discipline them. That's it should be seen as a state. the same structure. They have commissioners, which you may call as mandate secretaries. They have general counsel, which you may call as attorney general. They have solicitor general, which you may call as permanent secretary and solicitor general of the Ministry of Justice. So, what is wrong in them having their own permanent secretaries and having their own head of service?
Okay. So you have 10 permanent secretaries
Yes.
now. You have the FCT, Civil Service
and the head
Commission
of service.
also in place, with the chairman and the members already appointed.
Yes, yes.
What would this bring to the administration of the FCT now, in running it as if it were a state?
It's to starting the bureaucratic structure. If you say, take for example, you have Civil Service Commission, which has to talk about discipline, talk about training, talk about promotion of civil servants, as far as the FCT is concerned. 2, every career, everybody would want to attain the highest level in his career. And what higher level
The civil
is
service,
civil service?
PAMSEC,
Permanent secretary, head of
service.
service, right? Now, if in a situation where I can't get to that level because there's no room, is there any motivation? Does it make me to put in my best? Certainly not. Now, there is now hope
Enough headroom.
that I'm going to retire one day as the permanent secretary. Take, for example, those that will be sworn in on Monday, the first set. Do you know how elated that I was one of the first that when this was implemented, I was made a permanent secretary. Others are now waiting. This permanent secretary will retire tomorrow. This one will retire in the next 1 month. There's a likelihood. It's from my zone, for example. I may be the permanent secretary. Hope has been brought back. They will see more dedication, more work. Nobody puts in his best when it's going nowhere. So you see things are now well structured. And you see high performance. It is there. There are no two ways about it. And for me, I told Mr. President the other day, I said, for me, sir, if this is the only thing I achieve during your tenure as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief, and I leave office today, I am fulfilled.
I have to add the light rail.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you. Why am I fulfilled? That you made people to have hope in life.
I was just
Human development is key. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at somebody I've been appointed as head of service. It has gone down in history as the first head of service
Of the
of city. It's not money. Even if he retires tomorrow morning, he's fulfilled. I got to the highest level of my career. So the way I said, even if, as I finish talking here now, I'm no longer Minister of FCT, I feel satisfied. Not to talk about, again, something that had been there to Mr. President, that he said, people are looking for land. I don't need it. What I want is, let me ride on the metro line.
I just use that as an intervention. Let's stay with your workforce and this structure. You have to be congratulated on that. But we also need to look at what this also means. Last year you told us you were paying about 9 billion a month for your workforce. I don't know how much you are paying now in terms of today's realities. Is that daunting in terms of the plans you have? especially the payments you need to make in terms of the contracts you are doing and overseeing in terms of infrastructure development, juxtaposing this with the commitments as well.
In government, there are myriad of issues, problems. You are here to solve the problems. You don't want anything for you to say, oh, it's because we are paying so wage bill. That's why I'm not able to do this or do that. I wish the wage bill should come lower. It would have enabled me to put some of the funds to other areas. But be it as it may, you have to move on and work out strategies on how it does not affect you. Let me tell you something. Our budget is 1.1 trillion. We submitted through Mr. President to National Assembly.
Okay.
Somebody will say,
1.1 trillion.
Somebody will say, what's it takes? And that's why we have to thank Mr. President for bringing us out of the TSA. Today, you have been talking about payment of contractors, jobs are going on well. When we were in TSA, nothing was happening. Why?
Bureaucracy.
Not only bureaucracy. You don't have access to other funds. Whatever you get now from the IGR this month, for example, you share it. And it doesn't make sense. It's like pouring water in an ocean. So it doesn't make sense.
Tell us about that idea.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Okay. So you know about so we propose to Mr. President to the National Assembly. We want to go to other commercial markets. Listen, we need this amount of money. We need it. How do you pay back? We attach our IGR to XPO. Now, the money is there. You share the money, attach it to basic infrastructure. Take, for example, the OSEX, outer southern, where you have that Asokoro Junction, for example. How much, for example? What is left? Maybe it's 20 billion. After 20 billion, I need this job to be finished by December. Right? B6, B12. How much is left? So amount. From this loan, I attach this money to that job. Before you know, you are sure of 10 projects. Be completed. Now, what's the bank doing? Every month, they collect the IGR. So, if we are collecting 500 billion, for example, the bank is taking from us every year, say 120 billion. At 10 billion a month, that's 120. But we are not depending. If we depend just on that monthly, you get a share. This one 1.5. This one, variations will come. Variations will come. And you know, I'm one of the opponents of variation. I believe that government jobs are extraordinarily high. I will not tell you lies. And so when I look at it, and people are telling me about variation, I get irritated. So now, that wouldn't be. Yeah. So because you know, I have money for you, which is at 20 billion, you can do my work. I pay you.
So
this is the advantage.
Okay. But
and which, Mr. President, if you did not do it, FCT, nobody will be talking about
so do we have
this and that. No.
Do we have a system
yes.
in place now
yes.
such that if you are no more the FCT minister, whoever comes in sees that template and jobs will go on without any hindrance?
And you cannot. You see, leadership varies. After all, somebody was there. He didn't do it.
They were still in TSA at the time.
Yes. I came. I wrote to Mr. President, look at the disadvantages. It will not help us to do anything. It is your ability to convince your boss and to see the advantage. And now he has seen it. And he said, go ahead. So, today, people say, Abuja have returned the construction site. How? It's because Mr. President had weighed it, has seen the advantages that will accrue to his government. He said, and move on. Do you know, nothing makes you happy when you see people are happy with what you are doing. I was in the Senate yesterday. I feel highly elated. Every speaker per speaker, we commend you. We have seen. We are happy. Anywhere we go to, we are seeing so many things are happening. And we're asking ourselves, how come this was not the case before? You have a new president who has given me the opportunity and who is giving me the support for me to actualize his agenda, particularly as it relates to FCT. For me, it's my greatest happiness that people see, people are commending. You know, it is difficult to commend public officers. Yeah. I read yesterday, I don't want to be personal. I think they say she's a senator for FCT. I don't know. I think, okay, they said she's a senator for FCT. Said, Wike is busy scraping roads. And this I just, you know, in my place, there's a idea that says, if you don't know what to tell somebody, you say as him be. That is it. You don't have anything, you don't even know what to tell the person. You know, one of these, Sundays, I woke up. I called my executive secretary of CDO. I said, come. I said, come. Well, I said, come down. Look at the roads. All cracked. We passed through there. As we were going to the villa, then went to the police headquarters. That we go and see. This roads were built when? I should leave it when the potholes come. That's when I will go and repair it. You know, back belly. You know what you say, back belly. You know, somebody wants to be a friend. You say, I don't want to be a friend. Is it by force?
But what's like what the person was indicating that you don't want to be supervised. Like
supervised? Are you my appointer?
They have an oversight function.
Oh, come on, listen now. Come and do it. The problem is that she wanted to be chairman, Senate committee on FCT. And the Senate president said, I'm not giving you. She's a member. Let them come and oversight. There's nothing we have done. I've not invited the two chairmen of the FCT and the two chairmen of the area council. Every flag off, they're all there. Come and see with your eyes. And I deliberately allow it to be live. I deliberately allow it to be live. And so, what are you, the committee, the chairman, are seeing what you are doing. They are coming every day. What are you going to supervise me? You cannot supervise me.
But she's also representing the FCT.
No, that is the mistake you are making. That's the mistake you are making.
She will have extra interests.
What is the interest? That I must see her.
No, that FCT should function well.
Why would I go and say, is that my responsibility? If I have a problem, I go and see her. I don't have a problem.
So you're likely to see her
if there's a problem.
What if she wants to see you?
It's available. She should write to me. Give me a call if I'm free.
But she said you're not reachable.
How did you reach me now?
No, she's the journalist.
Listen. Nobody can intimidate me. Not after being, look, I was a minister before. I became a governor of one of the most important states in Nigeria. And now I'm a minister of FCT. You are saying that the only way you can bring me is to go to channel, is to go to TVC, is to go to, and the minister does not carry me along. I carry it, I don't have the back to carry. I don't have the back. People don't know how to go about things. It's not by blackmail or intimidation.
So what should she be doing?
Do the right thing. Communication. Can I have audience with you? There are things about FCT I want you to. The problem is this. She ran an election against my friend, Philip Adudua. Right? And then she sees Philip Adudua everywhere with me. He said, I'm taking Philip everywhere, instead of she being the senator. Haba, will I abandon my friend because he failed the election? I mean, people are so petty. It doesn't make sense. Everybody is commending what is going on in FCT. You abusee said that he's not carrying me along. I'm supposed to be the eye of FCT. That's lawmaking. That's lawmaking. The eye of FCT in terms of implementing Mr. President's agenda is me. Is me. Mr. President made promise to FCT. Mr. President told them, I have renewed hope agenda. I want to bring back your hope. In doing that, I have somebody I think should represent me in bringing my agenda to reality, achievable. And one of those is these people, they have distorted their growth. They make sure civil servants will not grow. And he said, no, that is wrong. Today, the civil servants are happy. The hope has come back. I'm here to implement Mr. President's agenda. I'm not here to you supervise me. You didn't appoint me. What you can do is to do oversight function. When you come, if there are things you see, you think is wrong, it's within your powers to know what to do. Or you come to me. So many senators have come to me. Say, look, there's something we want to say. We want to bring amendment to the law. FCT needs more money. It's the federal capital territory. That FCT ought to collect 1% of the total money, not 1% of federal government own share. So you take, for example, if federal government gets in a month 800 billion of allocation, 1% 800 billion is 8 billion. So that's what you get.
So you want to be on first line charge.
So that's what somebody who wants to help in improving FCT. How do I amend the law that will help you? You are talking about kidnapping. You are saying the sanction as provided in law is not enough. It's not sufficient to deter these criminals. Now I expect you, as a distinguished senator, as a lawmaker, how do I go through the lawmaking process to achieve this so that criminals will know that FCT is a no-go area? It's not for you to every day go on television, go on radio, that what the minister is doing is to scrape road. I will scrape more. More will go. And you see, the good thing is that when I finish, you know what they call a nylon. You know what nylon? By the time they finish as far as when I finish, you know, you'll be happy that you are driving on a good road. And I'm sure the lawmaker will also
Talking about those projects, sir. Talking about those projects, I'm sure it's not the metro line alone that you intend to present to Mr. President commissioning
so many things
on May 29th. Let's talk about the other projects. The VP's
I don't want people to hate me. Let me tell you, we are starting a committee to go and work out what has Mr. President achieved in his 1 year in office as it relates to FCT. Do you understand what I'm saying? what has Mr. President achieved in his 1 year in office, which will be May, as it relates to FCT, that's my concern. I don't go to do other people's work. This is my own assignment here. We'll be able to tell Nigerians, in Mr. President 1 year in office, see what he has been able to achieve, which is not 1 year, I mean, in our own capacity. Our own 1 year will be August. But we are not important. It is Mr. President. It is his agenda that we are driving. So since Mr. President will be 1 year in office in May, what will he tell Nigerians? What will he tell FCT people? What he was able to achieve? I will roll it out. Proudly. Proudly. We will do it in such a way, I don't know whether Mr. President will have the time to have the opportunity to say every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. We can say, okay, Mr. President, take 2 weeks, which you will not agree. Okay, he may sign the vice president. It is not about, for me, my greatest happiness is, are you sure, are you satisfied that you think you've done well? I tell people, it's not that I think, people are saying so. You have also attested by the questions you're asking, indirectly. Because when you say, oh, this project is going on here, this project is going on, what it means, that things are happening.
The VP's residence, how far with it?
Well, it's almost there. We're almost quarter to finish. Go there. This was a project that was awarded in 2010. And then, at the cost of 7 billion. Vice President residence at the cost of 7 billion from 2010 to 2024. 14 good years. Who hears that? Then something must be wrong with us. As a governor, when I told Nigerian Council of Legal Education, when I went to Bayelsa Law School campus, I said, look, I was going to build this. But if you agree to start a campus of law school in Port Harcourt, we will build and hand over to you in a year at the cost of what? 18 billion. We did not build it in 1 year. We built it in 9 months. And we paid 18 billion. And then you tell me, federal government will award vice president residence for 14 years? When I told president, I can't understand this. Even if the federal government was paying 1 billion a month, for 7 months, Julius Bella is like, I'm sorry to use that word. Julius Bella is money for hand, back for grant. I'm sorry to use that language. But that's Julius Bella. If you give them the money, they provide what you want. That was why, when I was governor of Rivers State, from 2019 to 2023, how many years? 4 years. Built 12 flyovers. I didn't go down to Julius Berger. 4 years, you put down 12 flyovers to a company called Julius Berger. Not any company. And then you tell me federal government will award VP's residence 2010 for 7 billion naira, and then we're talking about how to finish it in 2024. 14 good years. Then that means we're not serious. Sometimes the president that alone is a highlight for criminals very close to the villa. I said, Mr. President, I have spoken with Julius Berger, of course. There'll be variation. Because the job, and I told you, are you going to finish this in 6, 7, 8 months? They said, we need the money. You need money. And we gave them the money. Today, I was there yesterday, and they said, look, by May, come and take it.
Honorable Minister, we can see that you have been able to fast track, several of these projects. But there are still some that are like an albatross on the neck of the, FCT administration, and that is, for instance, the Centenary Tower, for instance. The Centenary Tower, for instance. How have you been able to? Is there anything you're doing to perhaps review?
I thought when we came, and we called the contractor. That project was awarded under the administration of Obasanjo to Salini. I think it was around 50-something billion. It came down to later variation upon variation, and it came to 100-something billion. So when I came, and I saw it as something that would change the landscape of the city. So I went to President and said, look, excuse me, we cannot allow this. I'm talking with the company if they would agree. So I tried to work out. That's okay, the company. Where are we now? 100-something billion. How do we pay? When can you finish it? They said 3 years. That's okay. 3 years. 3 years. It's okay. If I pay 3 billion every month, in 3 years I will pay about 100-something billion. Can you? He said yes. You remember, I told the press that this is what we have agreed with the company. Unknown to me, different stories came. The company came back. No, it's not. And they do it at 200-something billion. I say, wait a minute. I don't think I have the appetite for this. So I told President, I don't think I can continue with this. Yes, it's important, but it's crazy. It's crazy. So there was 10 billion naira we put in Sokuku. So I wrote to the DMO, we are not willing to go ahead with this Centenary. I don't want something that, at the end of the day, it will turn to 400 billion from the one seeing it. Maybe we'll look at it for the private investor angle. We'll look for people who can take it over and finish, and then they can run the place. So I wrote to DMO, can you move that 10 billion to one of these jobs? I think it's going to be the longest road. It has about 8 flyovers by CGC. I don't know what they call it. So long. More than 30-something a kilometer. I said, please, could you please channel that fund to that this thing? Because when I looked at what is being owed to the company, what's it called, the CGC, I saw that it has come down to 70-something billion. So, can you channel that? And then I called CGC, how can you people finish it? They say if they see the funds, they can finish it before 2027. I said, fine. We're going to. It's a major road that will change the entire landscape of Abuja. Right. So, this is how I do. So, yes, I would have loved to finish the Centenary, but there's a hiccup.
Okay.
And I don't want government to be involved in something that I cannot explain. No, I don't want to involve myself in that. So that's where we are.
If I can remember properly, I think you visited, is it a computer village in Abuja or something?
No, yeah, it's a technology village.
Technology village, sorry, yeah. So is there any plan today or in the future to ensure you have a technology hub where a lot of young people can do things?
That again is a good question. You see, I think they took over 700 hectares of land. Road infrastructure has been provided. Again, like I said, it's the driver the head, when you give people assignment, it depends on their commitment, on their zeal. If I'm the head of the technology village, the issue is, since being appointed, what have I done? How many investors have I been able to bring in here? All these years, nothing. So I went there, and they were explaining that, oh, the villagers have encroached. I said, yes. Who allowed encroachment? Because you're doing nothing. The villagers said you took their land, and you're doing nothing, and they are going to encroach. Even though they have been compensated. So I'm happy to announce to you that the Minister of Science and Tech has come. We are willing to give it out to them so that they'll be able to bring in investors who want to establish various forms of technology as a technology hub. For me, it's not about you being in charge. It's about the capacity. It's about contributions. Go there, nothing. Nothing. And you answer the head of the Abuja Technology Village. It doesn't make sense to me. Government cannot put, the money government should put has been put by providing the road infrastructure. So I think the Minister of Science and Technology is doing quite well, and I can assure you in the next few months, people will begin to come in. It's an amazing place.
Honorable Minister,
We have just about 5 minutes. We have just about 5 minutes.
Let me take you to your home state now.
Yes.
Your lawmakers, we know sometimes last year they all defected to the All Progressive Congress, and lawmakers loyal to you, and you're a minister serving under the federal government. Where do you belong to now?
What do you mean by they are loyal to me?
Lawmakers loyal to you.
How are they loyal to me?
Most of them, you.
How? No, you see,
Most
when
of
you
them
say
are proteges.
proteges of, who is not a protege of me?
Even the governor.
He is a protege of me, but he's not loyal. But these ones are protege, and they are loyal.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know. Tell me. You tell me. You say these are loyal to me. You say they are my protege. I said, okay, who is not your protege?
Okay.
He said my God. I said, fine. I said, okay. Is he loyal to me? He said, no. So these lawmakers are loyal. He's not loyal. They said they went to APC. I have no right to stop anybody. You know, one thing people will always say, oh, I'm aware they went to, because they are loyal to me. Fine. But this is not loyal to me. When some people come to talk to me, beg your lawmakers now to do this. I said, do you want them to obey me? They say, yes. Fine. What of the other person? He should not obey me. He should assert his own right. He should assert independence.
I thought Mr. President has sorted it out.
But the lawmakers cannot assert independence. You know, we blow hot and cold. And that's why I say people are, you know, look, anybody who supports an ingrate is a natural and ungrateful person.
People feel that agreement is lopsided by not telling the lawmakers to return back to the PDP. Because every other thing was upturned.
How can President determine, tell me I should go back to a party? Or how can you, where has that happened?
People that resigned, they were brought back. People that, you know, the
For whose own interest, do you know what they said? Withdraw impeachment. Do you know what that is? Who benefited from it all? Tell me the truth. Whose office was under threat? When you say these people have gone to another party, it's a matter of court interpretation. If you say I've left the party, it does not lie on you to say I've left the party, so you leave the seat. You need to challenge it in court. The speaker has to hit the gavel. It's not when you have interest, you don't want to look at the whole thing. As far as I'm concerned, the lawmakers have respected Mr. President. When that agreement was reached, it didn't take them 24 hours. They will do the impeachment notice. What is the point that you brought commissioners? I didn't work in.
Okay. Let me ask you.
I didn't know you were going into this kind of. Have you heard me? I'm busy.
Let me ask you a less
I'm busy with the metro line, how to achieve metro line. I'm busy with other projects. I'm very busy. I don't even talk about the.
Honorable Minister,
let me ask time for politics.
Let me ask you a less complicated question. Let me ask you a less complicated question.
Yes.
Which party?
I didn't tell you that it's complicated.
Okay. Which party do you belong to?
I'm a member of People's Democratic Party. Have you ever seen me change any day? When you see, I don't know why this
you are not interested in the elections in Edo, whether your party wins or not. The wicked that Nigerians know will always throw his heart.
The one I did before, the one I supported before, what happened? The one I supported before, now what happened? So what happened?
But his company,
I have decided to.
Where is he seeking your
I have
support
decided
now?
to take a break.
From politics?
No,
Supporting.
it's not. Look, as you see me here now,
They are focused on the
everybody carry a
cross.
I'm just as I'm telling you.
You don't have the back to carry people.
You see, when people say this, I was in PDP, I didn't hide it. I came out. I said, I'm not going to support your presidential candidate. Is it that I spoke in a way people did not understand? Is it that I acted in a way people did not understand? Even the deaf heard me, the deaf. You can hear when the deaf can hear you. What I said, the deaf heard. But if this is not done, I won't do this.
And the party is still planning to discipline you for
discipline me for who?
Damago said so.
Who? That I did what?
That it
Who
was
violated?
who
Violated the party's constitution? Who violated? Who should be disciplined? I am an advocate of the implementation of the constitution, and you breach it, and you want to discipline me. In the first place, can you not even say, in the first place, you should have thanked us, thanked Rivers. Did you understand me? Okay. Assuming we lost the governorship, would I be talking about Rivers State being a PDP state? Assuming we lost. Forget about these people who are gallivanting today, moving around, say that they can now serve master and serve boy. Now they are serving boy on the road now.
All right, Honorable Minister.
So leave all those things. And like I told you, now it's time for governance. Now it's time to do your own assignment. President are giving me an assignment. I'm busy to carry my own assignment. When the time for politics comes, then we'll know who is where, who is not where. Money is not everything. I was the Minister of State when I went to run for a governorship. Yes, I was. Did you not win?
But one would like to ask you
Well,
very
yes.
quickly before
No,
you
no,
go.
no.
Just one question
Yes.
before you go. You straddled two places now, being governor 8 years
Yes.
in your state.
Yes.
Now you are FCT minister. Which one has been more daunting, for instance?
I don't know how to. Here's Nigeria. I don't have the kind of executive power as I used to have when I was governor. Most of the things I do here, I must seek the approval of Mr. President. The luck I have is that every time I seek for his approval, he has always given. And that has made my work easier. But I can tell you, it's not easy. You know, Abuja, you have all kinds of people, they high and mighty. Former presidents are here. Former army generals are here. Generals are here. Field marshals are here. Everybody is here. Senate President is here. Speaker is here. Chief Justice is here. So it's not like in your state. No, it's not like that. But for whatever it is, if you have capacity, you have capacity. It doesn't matter where you find yourself.
All right.
When I was Minister of State Education, everybody thought that office is a dead office. I was there. I bought it. As I left, somebody went there. He said, but it's not where Wike was. It is not the office. It is you.
All right.
That will tell me how the office will be.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. We are very sure that you are enjoying the work anyway. Thank you for allowing us to share the beautiful ambience of your office. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And of course, my colleagues, Fisayo.
Sir, nice to speak with you again.
Thank you
Hopefully, by the grace of God, like you said, we'll ride with you on the metro line.
God willing. Yes.